What?
Hey Zena, what are you eating? Where is the chocolate? Hey guys, welcome to part 3 of editing photos on the go. Last week, I showed you how to organize photos on your phone or tablet with an app called Lightroom Mobile. If you haven't checked it out, I'll put a link to it in the description below and up here if you're on YouTube. This week, I want to show you how to do basic edits with your phone or tablet. Now, for most of you, this is all you're ever going to need because in the real world, most of the time, what we want to do is fix mistakes. So maybe you've taken a photo that's too bright or too dark or the color is all out of whack. So today I want to show you how to fix those problems and end up with a much better looking photo. Now, before we do any editing, it's really important that we increase the brightness on our phone or tablet in order to get a really accurate edit. Then just go ahead and open up the Lightroom Mobile app. Once you're inside Lightroom, go ahead and find a photo that you want to edit. Now here you can see the photo is kind of leaning and the horizon's off. So I always start by clicking the crop tool and then clicking auto straighten. Here you can see the horizon's nice and straight now, and if I pinch and zoom, I can change the perspective inside the original crop. To change the original crop, just go back into the crop tool, click on aspect, and then you can change the aspect ratio. Here I've selected a 1:1, which is a square crop, since I plan on posting this to Instagram. So that's the crop tool. Now, I want to go ahead and show you the other tool I use most often, which is the edit tool. So here you can see I have a photo that's extremely dark. Now, I always like to start with the exposure tool. This way I can increase or decrease the brightness and find a nice middle ground. Next, I slide over to the highlights tool. This allows me to either increase or decrease the brightest parts of the photo. And here in this shot, I'm going to decrease it a little bit so that I can retain that sky detail. Next, I jump over to shadows. Here you can decrease or increase the darkest parts of the photo to bring back some of that detail in the darker areas. After adjusting the highlights and shadows, next I adjust contrast. I want to add a little bit of dimension to the photo. One of my favorite tools is clarity. Clarity adds this magical pop, kind of an increase in brightness and contrast and sharpness to really make things stand out. Finally, for landscape and architecture photos, I like to play with saturation. Now, don't go cray-cray and go all the way to the right. You want to reel it back a little bit to make it look realistic. With a 3-finger press, you can see the before and after to compare the original to your edited photo. Now, I want to show you another real-world example. So I'm going to jump back into my collections, and I'm going to select a photo of my son, Cade. This photo looks really straight, and I like the crop, so I'm going to skip straight to the edit tool and adjust the exposure. Now it was a little too bright, so I'm going to darken it a bit. But right off the bat, I can see that the color is extremely off. It has this really cool blue tone to it. So I want to fix that. I'm going to click on the white balance tool and click on auto. You can see if I toggle between the original and auto that the color is a lot more warm and natural. While the color looks a lot better, you'll notice the photo is still a little washed out. So I'm going to start by lowering the highlights. And I'm also going to lower the shadows to kind of darken the photo a bit. Then I'll add a little bit of contrast to add some dimension and bring back some of that detail. Next, I'll slide over to the clarity tool and add some of that magical pop. To finish this photo up, I want to add some vibrance. Now, vibrance is a lot like saturation, however, it only affects colors other than skin tones. This is great if you want to add a little pop of color without making the skin tones look unnatural. That looks pretty good, so let me go ahead and zoom out and compare this to the original. So just a 3-finger press, and we can compare the before to the edited version. Okay, so let me show you one other really cool trick. Press and hold the photo, tap Copy Settings, then tap OK, and then jump back to your collection and find a photo that was taken at around the same location or time. Then press and hold, press Paste Settings, and boom, you can see all of your edits are now applied to this photo instantly. Well, there you have it. That is my basic editing workflow for fixing common problems and everyday mistakes. If you have any questions about editing, I'd be happy to help. All you have to do, just leave a comment down below in the description, and I'll do my best to get back to you. Can you say the ABCs?
melts and